दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट के पीए और एसपीए एग्ज़ाम के लिए ये डिक्टेशन आपको दी जा रही है। इसमें हम पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स नहीं बोलेंगे। दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स नहीं बोला जाता है। आप लोग अच्छे से लिखिए, कोशिश कीजिए कि इसका ट्रांसक्रिप्शन कर लीजिए। अगर ट्रांसक्रिप्शन ना कर पाते हो तो एक बार इसको लिखने के बाद एक बार ज़रूर पढ़ें। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। बी रेडी, स्टार्ट। Transfer of a government servant in a transferable service is a necessary incident of the service career. Assessment of the equality of men is to be made by the superiors taking into account several factors including sustainability of the person for a particular post and exigencies of administration. Several imponderables requiring formation of a subjective opinion in that sphere may be involved at that time. The only realistic approach is to have it to the wisdom of the hierarchical superiors to make the decision. Unless the decision is vitiated by malefides or by extraneous consideration or infraction of any professed norm of principles governing the transfer which alone can be scrutinized judicially, there is no judicially manageable standards for scrutinizing all transfers, and the courts lacks the necessary expertise for personal management of all public interest to the departmental heads subject to the limitation scrutiny indicated. It is for the administration to take appropriate decision unless they are vitiated by malefides or by extraneous consideration without factual ground or foundation. Therefore, we cannot go into the expediency of posting an officer at a particular place. In the instant case, the question to be determined as to whether the impugned transfer order is vitiated by malefides or infraction of any professed norms of principle governing the transfer. There is no dispute at the bar that the impugned transfer order is issued by the competent authority as the case of the petitioner is on malefides. In order to find out the existence thereof in the impugned order, I have carefully examined the file produced by the learned senior counsel for the respondents, and the examination thereof does not bring out any fact from which an inference can be reasonably drawn that the transfer was done with an ulterior motive. On the contrary, as early as 17/12/2003, the chief scientist had requested the respondent number 4, informing him to deploy scientists of plant protection, plant pathology, entomology, horticulture, agronomy and soil science. The file for transfer of the petitioner and others were processed with effect from 26/12/2013. There is no evidence of manipulation or overwriting in the notes found in the file. What is noteworthy is that the petitioner was not singled out for the transfer. Nevertheless, the petitioner could be right in his perception that the transfer order was issued with an ulterior motive, but then there is absolutely no evidence to establish the existence of malefides in the impugned order. There should be adequate materials from which it can be safely concluded that the impugned transfer order is vitiated by malefides, but the case of the petitioner is conspicuous by the absence of such materials. In the light of the entries in the file, it is difficult to conclude that the transfer of the petitioner was done with an ulterior motive. In my opinion, this clinches the issue in favor of the respondent university. For what has been stated in the foregoing, there is no merit in this writ petition, which is hereby dismissed.